Hey, 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 good morning, sports gambling enthusiasts. This is Louis Diamond, and we are live in our Las Vegas handicapping studios with Bettor Center Live, getting to you. Lots of betting action for you today. I am joined with Chip Chirimbus and Ross Benjamin, and we have a full slate, and not a big full slate, but we're going to cover the whole section here today. We got a college football game. We got a pro football game. We got 4 baseball games, and we got our most interesting play of the day. So without further ado, let me welcome our 2 gentlemen here, Chip Chirimbus and Ross Benjamin. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good morning,
Thank you, Louis.
All right, let's just get right down to it, guys. We got a football game tonight. We got Tom Brady looking real good last week. Had some injuries on the receiver side tonight. Line opened up with Tampa Bay. -3, got steamed up to 5.5. Now we are back at 3.5 on the game here tonight. And that half point, you think it's going to mean something here today, Ross?
Yeah, I do think so. I was talking to Chip off air yesterday, Louis, and he laughed when I said I was calling Tampa Bay Dallas Jr. because the bottom line is the Cowboys, as we all know, are always a public favorite, right? I mean, not necessarily favorite or underdog, but they love to bet on them. And I think Tampa Bay is a step down from that. Yeah, Brady's coming off a great performance last week. Very encouraging if you're a Tampa Bay fan to know he's getting on the same page with his receivers. He's still got something obviously left in the tank. But I really have a strong lean here toward the Bears in this situation. I think you can't put too much weight into what happened last week against Indianapolis. This is a team that in the Indianapolis defense is vastly underrated right now and has flown under the radar. They've shut every team down this year they played. Their only loss against Jacksonville was a self-inflicted one. They held the Jaguars to less than 300 yards. And I'm also looking at this, Louis. I think you're going to see a pass-happy Chicago Bears offense tonight because one thing that Tampa Bay does extremely well going back to last year is stop the run. So if they're going to get the running game going, I think they're going to have to set it up with the pass. The Buccaneers have allowed 87 yards or less rushing in each of them. Toward the Bears right now and a very small lean on going over the total. But I'm pretty sure the Bears are going to be my play in this situation, Louis.
All right, a little bit of the Bears from Ross. Let me see what Chip has to say on this game. Chip, you got any nuggets for us?
Yeah, Louis, I have a lot more Bears for you. This number, I like the idea that they've made a change at quarterback finally, and that project is over from North Carolina. The number's kind of funny to get. Last week, I mean, somebody said to me that Tampa Bay had a backdoor cover. And I says, no, when a favorite covers like that, they're knocking in the front door. Very surprising they covered that number last week against the Chargers. And I think they can play to a 3-point game or less here. The Bears are in great need at home, haven't had to travel. And their defense still is pretty stout. I think it's ranked 6th in the NFL in yards. So I think the Bears at home, it's a great situation for them. I think the public is going to be enamored with Brady here, as they well should be. 5 touchdown passes and a comeback win last week. But I'm going to take the Bears. There's no question. I've already posted it, and you've got it from me right here.
All right. Chipster on the Bears. Ross on the Bears. I'm not biting on the Bears, guys. Yes, Indianapolis, to Ross's point, #1 defense in football. So Chicago having having offensive struggles would not be surprising there. Tampa is not the same defense as Indianapolis. And Brady's coming off that big game. But, this is Tom Brady. He can read his press and still be successful the following week. He does have some injuries on the offensive side of the ball. I think you're going to see a little more today, obviously. It really kind of left with no choice. And I'm going to have to go against you two guys here and feel that there's a teaser play here with Tampa Bay. I think Tampa will get that win. And I do I know there's an overreaction on Tom Brady, but that was covered. They bet it down from 5.5 down to 3.5. I don't like laying 3 points at all anywhere in the NFL, no matter the situation. So I will look at teasing them as well here today. All right, so that takes care of our first football game of the day. Now, as we venture into college football today, we have a game with the Green Wave of Tulane. They are at Houston. Game opens up with Houston, a 4.5-point favorite, steamed up to 7. Total 56, steamed up to 59. So they're playing Houston and over. Now, Houston, they're in a different scenario here today, guys. They've been left at the altar 3 times and missed 5 games so far. So they've been, and like I said, 3 times left at the altar waiting for a game, and then COVID stops their play. This team's got to be itching to get on the field. You got any thoughts on this one, Chip?
Well, yeah, they have missed a total of 5 games. You're right about that. And my thoughts are there's nothing like game experience. Tulane's got 3 games under their belt. They blew a 24-0 lead to Navy, and midshipmen are very, very weak this year. How they came back and won that game is still a dilemma in my mind. But
I made a phone call.
Tulane, well, you and Mario, I guess, are working together. But I'm sorry. Tulane, having 3 games under their belt is certainly a plus, and I think that's big here. I think that Houston, there's nothing like game experience. It's going to be working out the kinks. I was kind of interested in why that line moved the way it did. Tulane did win the game last year. I think it was 38-31, but I would like Tulane just off the fact that they've already played, as opposed to Houston's first time out. I just don't think there's anything that can replace game time.
I kind of agree with you on that, but there is steam going the other way. So I'm thinking we got a hungry opponent, and Dana Holgorsen will probably, probably have them prepared. What are your thoughts here, Ross?
Yeah, I mean, Dana Holgorsen going into his second year now, right, Louis? So they should be much better in the second time around. This is, I'm going to stay away just for the fact this is an unprecedented situation. You got a team playing in their 4th game of the year against a team playing in their opener. Now, on paper, Houston's definitely the better team here, especially if you look at the fact they got 19 returning starters from a year ago and a coach now in his second go-around here. And you could throw out the COVID-19 too, meaning they had shortened practice time in the spring, because now they've been practicing for how long, right? They've been practicing since early August. So, if you put the proverbial gun to my head, I'd have a small lean on Houston here. But this isn't a game I'm willing to take a chance on. I want to see how Houston looks at least one time. And like I alluded to, Louis, I'm not willing to dabble into something we've never seen in college football, a team playing in Game 4 against a team playing in their season opener.
Yeah, that has to involve the move there. Having that many games under their belt versus a team with no games under their belt. Well, no, I'm sorry. The move went the opposite way, which I don't understand. Holgorsen, I'll just throw the karma train on him. Derek King, this was the game last year where he got hurt, and now Derek King is over there having some nice success in Miami, and maybe. I think Holgorsen kind of left the kid under the bus. So maybe the karma train comes up and bites him here tonight. I don't know. It's not much that I would want to bet on, but I would lean on the dog just because they got some games under their belt. I can't see not grabbing the touchdown, but something can be a game to watch along with the NFL game. All right, so let's roll it over into Major League Baseball plus, kind of getting a little bit exciting. And let's start with the game that's going off here shortly. Atlanta and Miami. Just talking about it because we got a short price on Atlanta. Does Atlanta get the sweep and bring out the brooms today and finish the series off? Chip, what do you think?
No, I think Miami might be the side here tonight, and I'll tell you why this afternoon. And I'll tell you why. It's because of the price. Here's Atlanta favored over $2 in the first two games. They win easily. And now Kyle Wright, who has been absolutely horrid this season, particularly even against Miami, is on the mound for him, and the line is dramatically lower. I think they're telling you this is the one shot that the Marlins might have of winning a game. I gave out Florida, Miami today, and if they don't, the series is over and we move on. But tonight's this afternoon would be my play on Miami.
All right, the Braves are 38-13 the last 51 versus the Marlins. Do you see that being a factor here today, Ross?
Not really. I go back to I'd be more inclined to look at this year's matchups. I believe they're 8-4 against the Marlins this year, so that would hold more water to me. Because Miami's a whole different team this year, Louis. You know what I mean? Perfect example is today's starting pitching matchup. Sixto Sanchez. He had a couple rough outings at the end of the regular season, but altogether for a youngster, he was extremely good looking at his whole resume. And then he was really good in his first postseason start as well. Chipper, I agree with you. Kyle Wright this is a guy that if the injury doesn't happen to their ace, he's not in the starting rotation during the postseason. He's had a terrible year. And my lean here would be toward the underdog in this situation. Chipper makes a good point. Look, they were minus 200 favorite the first two games or thereabouts, and now they're just at minus 126. That, to me, sends up red flags. I'm going to have a lean here toward the Miami Marlins, Louis.
All right. So, a lot of bettors want to bet Sixto, and rightfully so. He's had a great rookie season, but he is only 4-4 his last 8 outings. And he did split out versus Miami. He got kind of rocked in that last outing versus Atlanta. But there's probably value in that dog with Sixto. So I'll have to agree with you guys on that. I don't know if I can really go to town on a game like that. All right, so let's move over to the next game on the schedule, and we got the A's, who finally captured a win, and Houston finally got a playoff loss. Now, will the A's be able to keep the momentum going to, maybe knock Houston out of the box? I think we're still undecided on a pitcher here. I got Montes for Oakland. I don't have a starter for Houston. I'm not sure if either you guys have one, but if you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Let's start with you again, Ross.
Yeah, I got it undecided as well, Louis. So we're on the same page there. And until they commit to what they're going to do starting pitching wise, when I see these undecided now, guys, the first impulse I have now in this day and age is when you're undecided, that usually means you're going to try to piece it together with the bullpen, especially playing so many games in a short amount of time. There's no more off days in these playoff series. So that's what I would be inclined to see. But for me to make a commitment one way or the other, I have to see who the opposing starting pitcher is, meaning the Astros starting pitcher. So at this particular moment in time, Louis, I really have no strong opinion on this game.
All right. Montes is an over. 6 out of his last 9 games have gone over. And these no days in between, pitcher, bullpen. You're starting to see a little bit of overaction, but I know you're not a total guy, Chip, but I'm just thinking that off the top of my head that a lot of this, now we're deep into the bullpens. It might be time to start looking at some overs, but you're a side guy. Do you feel there's a side here today, this Oakland-Houston game, even without a decided pitcher?
Well, the name of today's pitcher for Houston is going to be all staff. I mean, he's going to use his entire staff. We should be aware of that. But it's still hard for me. It's so hard for me to
fullback with Tampa Bay, Chipper.
Yeah. I don't know how to make a decision without a price on the game. Not necessarily not having a starter, but not knowing what the price is. And I've posted sides on the other 2 games already. But this game, I don't know where we can go from here. I'd like to know who's pitching.
Yeah, I just saw a $1.15 right now with Houston with an undecided pitcher, and the total went from 9 to 9.5. They must have been watching the show because it just happened.
Well,
and they just must have heard that maybe there is an edge to the over with all these bullpens. So, all right, listen, we will be right back and take a commercial break. Got a couple more baseball games, and then maybe we'll touch on a little football before we get to the most interesting play of the day.
Brad Stein here live from Las Vegas. Join us daily for Bettor Center Live with our professional handicappers, where you get sports information you can bet on. Stop gambling, start winning. Bettor Center Live.
All right, sports fans, Louis Diamond back at you here live in our Las Vegas handicapping studios with Bettor Center Live. I'm joined with Chip Chirimbus and Ross Benjamin, and I got a couple of Yankee fans sitting there in my bullpen just chomping at the bit. The Yankees, after the first win, back-to-back losses, now they're up against the wall. Chip, are your Yankees bouncing back today, staying alive? What's going on?
Well, I hope not. I played against them last night. That was my mega buck play, and now 15-3 with the last 18 top-rated baseball releases, and unfathomable that it can carry on like that for 3 weeks. And I have Tampa Bay again tonight as a best bet, and it's just I don't like Montgomery throwing for the Yankees, and it really doesn't matter to me what's going on. Cash is the guy who started this throwing pitchers for 1 inning and 2 innings and 3 innings and 7 guys pitching over a whole game. He may go that way. Aaron Boone, of course, tried it and shot himself in the foot and didn't know how to make a decision once he had taken his starter out the other day in game 2. But I'm going to play against the Yankees here. They're not built for the playoffs. It's all or nothing. You get a home run or you have 18 strikeouts and leave 12 men on base. It's the way it is with them. So I'm going to play Tampa Bay.
All right, Chip has the Yankees in golf clubs today. All right, how about Ross? Do you got the same feeling on this one?
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with my buddy there. And, you look at the starter today for Tampa Bay, it's Thompson. He's a reliever. And that tells me that Tampa Bay is going to try to piece it together. I'm not crazy about Montgomery. I agree with Chip there. But my point being is this. The back end of Tampa Bay's bullpen is their strength. And when they tend to fall behind on games, they reorganize their bullpen a little bit differently and are not as effective. And that's the bottom half of their bullpen. And I got to believe, with that in mind, the bottom half of their bullpen is going to try to piece this together for the first 6 innings. Again, it's going to be imperative that the Yankees jump out in front in this game, especially so going into the 7th inning. Like I alluded to yesterday, we saw it again. Tampa Bay's just lost once all year, Louis, when they have a lead going into the 7th inning. So, again, this is a game I'm probably not going to use, and Chipper's red hot right now with his top plays at 15-3. But, right now, if I were to make a decision, I would certainly give strong consideration to the Yankees, especially when they're back with their backs up against the wall here, facing elimination.
Well, if they're to do it, they're going to have to buck the trend that the Rays have won 9 of the last 11 meetings of these two teams. And the under, let's scratch the under. That's a New York under trend, and we're not in New York. So I have a tough time pulling the trigger on the game, and I think that Tampa's kind of had their way, and they may knock them out today, but I'm not betting the game. I'll pass on this game as well. Then we got the last baseball game on the board here today, the mighty, mighty Dodgers. Can they be stopped? Are the Padres going to be able to stop this sweep? What are you thinking here tonight? LA's right now undecided. Motorhone on the mound for the Padres, even undecided for the Dodgers, minus $1.80. The total is 9. Chip, any thoughts on this one tonight?
Sure. I'm liking the San Diego Padres to the redheaded stepchild. And here come the Dodgers, just going to slap them around. I really didn't see much. It was a great season for the Padres. I mean, they were absolutely spectacular, and they were electric, and they're young, and their pitching happened to end up on the sideline in the most important and critical part of the year. And I just don't see them getting past the Dodgers. I haven't had anything to do with this series at all because it's 2-1 every night. And if you like, I just don't like laying those kind of numbers. And I think LA's in the sweep mode here.
All right. All right. So looking for LA to play some golf with the Yankees tomorrow, are we? What are you thinking, Ross? Are the Dodgers, the Padres going to play some golf with the Yankees? Do you believe the Padres are playing golf tomorrow? What are you thinking?
I believe they are, Louis. Look, here's the thing. Above and beyond everything else, I'm not going to lay 2-1 on any team. Again, if you're going to look at this, you might want to look at the run line. I'm not even willing to do that right now. This is a game you could find better value on the board today than this game right here. From an emotional standpoint, think about this. You went against Kershaw yesterday in that Dodger bullpen. You scored 5 runs and lost the game. That's discouraging, because if you would have told me going into yesterday that the Padres were going to put up 5 on the Dodgers with their bullpen and against Clayton Kershaw, I would have said their chances are pretty good. They might come away with a win. Well, they didn't, and now it's about how much wind is left in their sails. So I think the Dodgers show it up. They're the best team unequivocally in the National League right now, and I think they'll show it again tonight. They'll know how to close down San Diego, and we move on. But I'm not willing to make a play in this game, Louis.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, Ross, but I will do my proverbial find a way to play the team that I definitely think that they're going to win. They're definitely the solid play. Of course, they're the $2 favorite, so you know what I do. I find a way to parlay it. So there's not much baseball to parlay with it, but there's plenty of money lines in football that you can parlay with it. And that will take us to our most interesting play of the day. And I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to give it to you on the parlay. What you want to do is you want to play the Dodgers, and you want to tie them into Tampa Bay tonight on the money line. Not a huge play, but it definitely seems like an interesting play for me here today. So that'll be my most interesting play of the day. But now I got to see if I can tie it up with something that Ross or Chip has. So, Chip, your most interesting play of the day. What do you got? And let us know how everybody can get a hold of you, too, please.
Thank you, Louis. I think, without a doubt, the most intriguing and interesting game to me is the Houston-Tulane game, because how is Houston going to react after all this practice? Maybe they're going to be precise and be precision made out there. And then again, maybe the first game experience, different players and speed of the game will affect them. Talent-wise, of course, we've said before, they are superior to the Green Wave. But Tulane's playing their 4th game of the year, and they have shown they can move the ball. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch either way, just to see how these teams react against each other. And I still have the Green Wave.
The Green Wave for Chipper today. So they might be nice on that teaser, I'm thinking, as well. I mean, getting 2 touchdowns, possibly. Ross, most interesting play of the day, and let everybody know how they can get a hold of you. Give us a little bit of your best sales pitch. How's that?
Okay. So thank you, Louis, by the way. Saturday, I'm going to give you a game on Saturday in college football as my most interesting play today, because I don't work weekends, as you know, Louis. So before I get to that, though, folks, speaking of Saturdays in college football, my last 3 Saturdays with my pay selections in college football, 9-1, folks, all documented by sportscapping.com. As a matter of fact, not only that, if you're looking ahead to Sunday in the NFL, 3 to 5 selections, haven't decided yet on Sunday. My NFL has been absolutely on fire, Louis. First week, I went 0-3. Since that time, 15-5 with my last 20 in the NFL. As a matter of fact, at Sports Capping right now, I'm ranked number 4 in the country, combined NFL and college football pay selections at 26-14. On fire right now, folks. You can get my selections on a daily basis or a weekly or monthly subscription, if you wish, even an annual one for that matter. At rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com. I do guarantee my weekly and monthly subscriptions. When I say that, folks, it's not you're going to get your money back. It's gambling. Live with it if we're losing, okay? But my guarantee to you is this. If you're not making a profit after 7 or 30 days or even after an annual package, I will continue on with you until you're in the black. So that's my guarantee. That's my confidence in myself, knowing over the long haul, you're going to make a profit with me. That's rbwins.com. You could also get daily packages. I can't guarantee those for those of you who like to dabble in once in a while. Now let's get to the college football free pick. It comes in the Kansas State and TCU game on Saturday at TCU. You know, me and Chipper talked about this off air yesterday, and he brought up the fact, well, wow, TCU's a 9-point favorite. And I came back when I said, you know, Chipper, we got to be careful here because Skylar Thompson, the senior quarterback for Kansas State, got hurt in the first quarter last week in their win over Texas Tech, and he didn't return. Well, he's now listed as probable, and I just wonder why this line is so high. It's the bottom line is, don't get caught up with the fact why I'm saying why is this line so high. To me, it sends up a red flag that the books know something I don't know, because TCU right now, they're coming off an upset win at Texas. Kansas State coming off a couple big wins in the Big 12. I was really impressed with the fact that Kansas State last week, after defeating Oklahoma for the first time at home since defeating Oklahoma on the road the week before, overcoming a 21-point deficit, was able to come up with a strong effort against Texas Tech. But at the end of the day, I'm going to lay the points here. I just think there's a reason why the books are looking at TCU as being a 7.5-point favorite here as we speak. So I would buy it down to 7, folks. Get off that key number. My most interesting play and free being the key word, okay, is on TCU, excuse me, minus the 7 over Kansas State.
All right. A nice free play there from Ross. He likes to be clear about it because he does have paying clients that are paying for those premium plays. And it's tough to give them out free all the time out here if people are paying for it. And I hope you guys can appreciate that. We're doing what we can to get you as many winners as we possibly can. But at the same time, our main goal is to make you a smarter gambler. No matter whether you win or lose today, you're going to be a smarter gambler every day, which eventually leads to a winning program. So that being said, tomorrow going to be full of football, so make sure you join us. It's Football Friday. We're going to have teasers. We're going to have parlays. We're going to have free picks. And most importantly, we're going to have the information that you're going to need to know before you jump in and make that bet. And hopefully we'll get you an update on that Bills-Titans game. So that one is still up in the air. And I think that a lot of Titans have some issues right now. They have a couple more players tested positive, so they may have to forfeit this game. We'll find out more details about that tomorrow and the rest of the college football schedule. Truly appreciate Chip and Ross joining me here today and getting you all the information you can. We'll be back with Brad Stein tomorrow with Football Friday. This is Louis Diamond. Thank you for joining us on Bettor Center Live.